Welcome to Quick Hits on the Business of Cannabis. I'm Jay Rosenthal. Today, I'm really pleased to be joined by Keith Merker. He is the CFO of WeedMD. If there's a busier guy in the industry, I honestly don't know who it might be. Keith, welcome to Quick Hits on the Business of Cannabis.
Jay, thank you. It's a real pleasure to be with you.
And I joke that you're the busiest guy and maybe the busiest company, but when people hear what we're going to talk about, I don't think it's not an exaggeration.
Listen, I think everyone involved in this space, from myself all the way through the guys we got and gals we have working in the grow room and our customer service and across the industry, everyone is slammed right now. I was at a meeting with the Ontario Cannabis stores not too long ago, and these guys are trying to open, 40 stores. I know that they're not going to hit that mark for the rollout of rec in October, 17th, but wow. They're slammed on that side. And you talk about Health Canada, same, right across the space. Yeah. It's crazy.
Well, I was at an event earlier today, and there was this phrase, "allergic to boredom," and nobody can be bored in this industry at this moment. So I guess we're lucky.
Yeah.
So actually, that's why I actually wanted to start with that. So not that you're allergic to boredom, but want to talk about, you guys are in the midst of opening a new facility, a new greenhouse. Tell us a little bit about that, because that's always an exciting moment for a company. Tell us.
Yeah, it's been an amazing experience. I think we must have beaten some kind of record somewhere, somehow, some way along this path, because we took 5 acres of greenhouse that up until the end of December was growing tomatoes, and as of late last week we rolled in our first cannabis plants into the first of many grow rooms. So what an event, what a milestone. This was a deal that was announced, publicly last November, November of 17, and we started in earnest our retrofit again in January of this year, and in less than 6 months got, the initial acre of this space licensed, and now are growing our first plants there, and more plants will be populating further grow rooms over the next couple of weeks. And then we'll have another batch of grow rooms coming online and licensed, in just over a month's time. And wow, the scale is incredible. Here in Elmer, where I'm sitting today, our current facility, we're growing 12 to 1,500 kilograms per annum of great indoor cannabis. The first grow room is 10,000 square feet in Strathroy. So it's, you can do the math and you very quickly realize the kind of scale that we're approaching. We're doing it in a very, as fast as everyone is running, we're taking a very measured, I think, strategic approach to the rollout. It's a hybrid greenhouse. So if you walked in there, even on the hot days that we're going to see this weekend, for instance, you're going to feel nice, cool, in the 70s as far as the air temp goes. The humidity is being kept in control. It's a hybrid. It's an indoor environment with a glass roof. So it's the best of all worlds. We'll be growing some great product, and we're all super excited.
And you're going to need it, which is a good segue into what's next, because I think it was last week or the beginning of this week, you guys signed a deal with Shoppers Drug Mart. Talk a little bit about that, because that's not an unimportant part of the sector. It's a little bit overlooked, and we'll talk about the rec market in a second. But talk a little bit about what that means for you and what it means for Shoppers.
Yeah, again, another big milestone for WeedMD. We've always been big supporters of the medical market. We've got our own specific niche in sort of seniors care that we've established and planted a flag in as a company, and we look forward to expanding on that as time goes on. But part of that is also making relationships like this, and so we were the 6th LP of many to sign a contract with Shoppers Drug Mart, and so we're on there. I've got some folks on a call with them right now, working out some of the details around marketing and how we're going to roll forward together. And it's important to point out that the way they view this and the way that we view this is more of a partnership. So, not only does it, I think most importantly, maybe for the near term, it really puts sort of a good housekeeping stamp of approval on what we're doing, because Shoppers Drug Mart is not going to align themselves with just anybody or just any LP. They've been here, they've been through our facilities, they've seen the expansion, they know the kind of quality procedures and protocols we have in place, not just to the standards of the ACMPR currently, but our own methodologies by which we approach the grow, our precision agriculture, our extreme controls of conditions, both environmental and with respect to any potential biocontamination and so on and so forth, our pristine track record with the regulators. It goes on and on. So again, this kind of stamp of approval, I think, proves to me, it's proving to the world that we're doing a great thing here, that we're on the path to success. And now we've got this great avenue with Shoppers as our new partner to distribute ultimately product for the medical market.
It was a great announcement. It was great to come across my desk. I'm glad we get a chance to talk to you about it today. Yeah. And of course, today is another day where Health Canada is releasing some regulations along the path towards October 17th. How is WeedMD and the team there, and sort of broader even, I guess, Haiku Brands, gearing up for what will be, I mean, a chaotic time or a really fast-paced time between now and then yep. when it actually happens, to be adaptable to sort of the market that develops? How are you guys dealing with that and preparing?
I think you've just got to have, at the end of the day, a business is nothing but the people involved. And I think that, on the WeedMD side, I can happily report that we've got a fantastic crew of people that, are smart and nimble and able to cope with these ever-changing pieces of landscape that we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. So, we all knew the regulations were coming. We're getting an inclination of what they'll be. I believe they'll be published in early July here for us to sort of delve into and understand what that transition looks like as we transition from the ACMPR onto the new regulations under the Cannabis Act. And I think that we're well positioned to do so. I think we've got the right people in place to understand what those changes mean. Some of them will be great. Some of them maybe, change is always something you got to deal with when you've got processes and people used to certain processes when we talk about down on the production floor, but that's okay. I think all in all, the changes that we're looking at making and implementing as a result of the regulatory regime that will be coming into effect are all going to be positive with respect to greater efficiencies in the grow and ultimately lower costs, so we can pass those along to our customers and patients.
And you speak to sort of the team there. We've featured Dr. Vanderswan a number of times on this program and through some of our programming. And just a top-notch, thoughtful guy with a real perspective and approach to how this could roll out, especially focused on seniors. It's super important. I know my mother-in-law watches those interviews with a very, very keen eye. So Keith, I want you to get back to all the important calls you have today, but I want to thank you for being with us for this quick hits on the business of cannabis. We hope to have you back as the days, weeks, and months roll on. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care.